I'm Courtney Ingham, and I am a Western tropical astrologer. I offer weekly astrology reports every Monday featuring the planetary and lunar energies for the week ahead. All times mentioned are in Eastern Standard Time. Becoming a subscriber is free, and all subscribers get additional free content. Becoming a paid subscriber is only $5 a month and helps to support this podcast. Paid subscribers receive discounts off of my readings and other offerings. Enjoy the show. Hello, Astro friends. This is your Astro transmission for the energies of July 17th through July 23rd. And we start the week today on Monday with a Cancer new moon. And I do discuss the energies of this in my video that I released over the weekend. I will link that in the show notes if you have not watched that yet. However, in the aftermath of this powerful Cancer new moon, we are going to want to take time or make time for our feelings to process, as we have a lot of big shifts that are going to be happening this week. And the energies of this Cancer new moon are really inner energies. They're more processing of what's coming through with this Cancer energy. Please definitely watch the new moon video to learn more about that. I will talk a bit about the energies around this Cancer new moon in today's podcast, but you'll want to see the video as well. As always, we're going to start with the lunar energies this week. It's even more profound as we do have the very emotional new moon in Cancer, which is the sign ruled by the moon. So what the moon is doing around this time is going to be more influential, is going to have more of an impact. So if you are working with these lunar energies that I've been sharing with you, this will be a week where that will be very supportive. And in fact, it's a great week for you to start a new habit of working with the lunar energies. There are some great transits happening that I'll talk about that could support starting a new and healthy habit. So on to the lunar energies for this week. On Monday, of course, we have the moon in Cancer. And this is definitely a time to reflect on what's emotionally coming up for us. And you can watch my new moon in Cancer video that I'll link below to learn more about working with the energies of the new moon in Cancer. So we'll be working this week with a first quarter moon, and that is one in which we want to be reflecting upon our intentions that we set, our new intentions moving forward for this new moon in Cancer. So it's a building period. On Tuesday, the moon will be moving into the sign of Leo. And in the sign of Leo, this is where we may have a need to feel recognized. And this is graduation season. A lot of our high school grads are being indeed recognized at this time, and that's great, perfect timing to really celebrate our achievements and be a little showy, show off who we are. It's a time to get the accolades that we deserve. To not hide behind the curtain, so to speak, but to really step into receiving the recognition that we deserve. It's a great time to launch if you're thinking of launching a new career, if you're starting a new business. If you're ready to put yourself out there in some way, maybe on social media or start a website, it's a great time in the Leo moon, which we will be experiencing through Thursday afternoon. It's a time where we have a lot of confidence as well. So if there's something in your life that you want to do that takes that great amount of self-confidence, time it to happen on Tuesday or Wednesday or early Thursday potentially, so that you can utilize this strong Leo moon energy. It's also a great time to be creative, to have fun, and to be romantic in this Leo moon energy. Other things that you can do in the Leo moon energy is fix your car. You can buy a home. These are all things associated with the self-image. And you can also do some kind of a beauty treatment, whether it's a new hairstyle, it's, actually going to a salon and having something done, even having your nails done. Great time to do that. I would highly recommend you do that before Saturday, because on Saturday, Venus, who is, the planet of beauty, is going to be going retrograde. So we don't want to do, big elaborate beauty treatments. Sometimes it's recommended not to have, like plastic surgery or Botox or something like that while Venus is in retrograde, because it could go wrong. So get it done now. Anything you want to do that's related to Venus qualities before Saturday. That includes starting new relationships, by the way, or even starting things, financial business kind of things, or even like a savings account. You'll want to do that before Saturday. Take advantage of that time before the retrograde, because those are things that are ruled by Venus as well. And Venus in retrograde would be a time when we're reflecting but not really taking action, because sometimes the action might have a reverse effect under the retrograde. On Thursday at 1:12 p.m., our moon will move into the sign of Virgo. And in this Virgo moon, we're going to be more detail oriented. We're going to be focused on cleaning and troubleshooting, and it's also a great time to provide assistance or help to others, to volunteer, to be of service. We may be more health conscious at this time, and we do have Mars in the sign of Virgo giving us some energy towards these Virgo qualities. So it's a great time to start a new diet, a new health regimen, anything like that. It's also a good time to crunch numbers and do things that require your concentration and attention to details. And you could also consider starting something that could be habit forming, positive habit forming that you've been considering doing during this Virgo moon period, also taking advantage of the fact that Mars is energizing that Virgo house. It'd be a great idea to find out where is Virgo, and to aim whatever it is that you choose to do in the direction of what that house covers. We will be having on Sunday the moon move into the sign of Libra, and ordinarily this is a big relationship sign. It's a great time to start a relationship with the moon in Libra. However, we do also have Venus going into retrograde the day before on Saturday, so starting a new relationship may not be advisable. Maybe if you are on the verge of starting a relationship or have just started a relationship, keep it a little low key. Maybe get to know each other as friends first. You don't have to, kind of end anything or cancel any desires to initiate a relationship. Just take it slow while Venus is in retrograde. It will be in retrograde for several months. Sorry to say, if you're excited about jumping into a relationship, but it is just something to really consider and work with and play with these fun astrology energies. So it's, if you are in a relationship, there's no reason not to get romantic. You may want to use the Venus retrograde as a time to just revise or reconsider or just review your relationship, potentially even to together. You can talk about how things are going, and if there's anything up that needs to be changed or addressed. It's a great time with a Libra moon to go on a date. It's also a great time to make peace with your ex. If things have been on, shaky ground, you can actually use the really strong resonance of, negotiation and compromise energy that comes with this Libra moon to make peace. It's a great time to sign the treaty and or let bygones be bygones anyway, and just say we're just agreeing to disagree. If that's all that you can make out of it, that's fine. But there is that strong energy around negotiation and people wanting to work together. So if there's something coming up business-wise where you can use this energy, that's, more the merrier as well. A great time to reach an agreement with someone if you have not been able to before. And of course, we will be in this energy of the Libra moon until Tuesday afternoon. So that would mean that would mean Sunday and Monday and early Tuesday morning. Under this Libra moon as well, it's recommended that you plant broccoli and cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, also gourds and sunflowers. Now let's move into the planetary aspects happening this week. So as mentioned, we do have our moon conjunct the sun in Cancer. That is what a new moon is for Monday. And we do also have some other aspects happening on Monday that I did discuss in the new moon video, and they will be happening exact on Monday, including Mercury in Leo squaring Jupiter in Taurus. This can have a sort of head in the clouds feel to it, where you may not be super realistic about your vision or not quite with it mentally even. So today would not be a great day to really do anything that requires that concentration. I would maybe consider saving it for later in the week when we have that nice Virgo moon energy going on. It's also potentially going to bring up ways of not being realistic about your self-image. And it also could represent our understanding being challenged in order to allow it to expand. So ways that we have thought previously may be challenged under the energy of this square, and we may be asked to really expand the way we have thought before. So maybe ways that we have seen things and understood things are going to be challenged, and the way you looked at things may no longer be resonating with you anymore, and it's time to expand your mental horizons and understandings at this time. So notice anything that comes up and might be challenged in regards to this energy. Now, the next big planetary aspect that we have is happening on Thursday, when we have the sun in the sign of Cancer trining with Neptune in the sign of Pisces. And remember, Neptune at this time is one of our few planets we have that is retrograding. So on Thursday, we actually may see that our empathy is expanded with this positive aspect between the sun and Neptune that is happening. We may be more service oriented. That would really resonate with the Virgo moon that we'll be having that day as well. We may also find that we're becoming infused with a new spiritual purpose or support that comes through in this energy. And with Neptune being in retrograde, it also may be self-reflection on our spiritual direction. And again, this works really well actually with the square between Mercury and Jupiter on Monday to provide us a greater perspective, an eagle's eye perspective. And this is providing more of that spiritual perspective that may be coming through this week for us to really help us to see things in a new way. Just a brief interruption to today's podcast to let you all know that astrology readings make great gifts. If you want to gift a reading to a recent graduate, a new mom who may want to get a sense of their newborn's energies, or a newly married couple looking to learn more about their synergy, please email me at courtneybuk@gmail.com. If you have a small group of friends interested in getting a group together for a semi-private reading, I love doing gatherings and I'm happy to come to you. I also offer Astro cartography readings to help you if you're looking to relocate or take a trip and want to get an idea of what the astrology energies are wherever you're going. Just email me to inquire at courtneybuk@gmail.com. On Friday, we have the Sun in Cancer opposing Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto is retrograde. What this really speaks to is the energy of the Cancer new moon that is opposed earlier this week on Monday to Pluto as well, and with the Sun also in Cancer. We're having an opportunity for an emotional upgrade. In a sense, it feels like a emotional maturity that is happening, and some kind of stepping out of a way of being emotionally that we have had a pattern of being in. And this could be something we have inherited from our family, from our ancestors, as Cancer really carries that root signature of things that we may have taken on from our family members, that it is now up for transmutation, and there will be a major shift that's starting to happen in this energy that we may find is emotionally maturing us. We may move beyond places of comfort, could be emotional comfort, out of an emotional comfort zone in order to evolve and move beyond some spaces that we may have felt were really difficult to move beyond. And in fact, Pluto oppositions are intense. They can be difficult, like having something ripped away from us that, it's like this is no longer possible for this to be this way. It's not usually, happy-go-lucky or easy, and, oppositions generally aren't. But when it involves Pluto, there's an end. There's a death in regards to this emotional space, in regards to these emotional comfort zones, in regards to ways of being that we've inherited that going forward are really not aligned with our higher selves. And so it is time in this energy for us to release this. And that's what Pluto does. It transforms and it takes away, it ends things in order to do that. But it's always for our highest potential and our highest good. And in this energy, it might be time to ask questions of what we've outgrown, what we've stayed in a comfort zone too long around, and how we're ready to transform, what is ready to transform emotionally. Now, Saturday and Sunday of this week are our biggest energy days as far as the transits go with these planets. And we do have on Saturday, later Saturday evening, the Sun moving into the sign of Leo. That can be a lightening for sure, where we don't feel as much of the emotional intensity that can be coming up in Cancer energy. And it's also a place where we can sort of self-actualize all of the things that did come up, the things we did ruminate over in this Cancer energy. So as we go forward into Leo season, this is where we express ourselves from a place that we've really gone into the depths of the emotional body, and here we are ready to shine and we're ready to show forth the new us that has emerged. And prior to the Sun going into Leo on Saturday, we will have the Sun squaring with the North Node in Taurus. this very much echoes a lot of the energy of the opposition the sun had the day before with Pluto. This is a very intense sequence of events and aspects happening to go from opposing Pluto to, literally an hour and sometime later, then we have this square with the North Node. There really does seem to be a sense of a new us emerging. And in the process of this, there's a bit of a tumultuous intensity happening because the North Node has just very recently moved into the sign of Aries. It will be at 29 degrees when this square with the sun happens. I do have a podcast on this nodal shift that has happened that I will link in the show notes. However, the North Node in particular is our way forward, and any square that the sun has to the North Node, mathematically, the sun will also have to have with the South Node. That's just how the square works because it's a 90-degree angle. So what we're seeing is that in order for us to move forward on this path that we are on, there is a lot of things that we are letting go of, and that would be reflected in the square to the South Node in Libra. This also reflects back to the potential of that being in regards to relationships. So what's falling away in regards to relationships or our patterns with relationships? Are we needing to let go of our people-pleasing ways? Are we needing to resolve our patterns? And this could be some of what I spoke about of these inherited patterns that the opposition with Pluto is bringing up. But are we needing to let go of some of these patterns in relationships where maybe we discount ourselves too much and, put relationships and others first, or vice versa? These are some of the things that are going to be dissolving as we move into our higher selves, our path forward. And we also will be having on Saturday Mercury, who is in Leo, trining with Chiron in Aries. This is a very supportive aspect happening. This is where we could have a real understanding, a real breakthrough in regards to our wound. And it would make sense with the preceding energies that we've been talking about that could come through. There could be some understandings about what needs to happen on our path of healing, what the next step could be. We have a lot of clarity coming through in that regard. Now on Sunday, we will be having the North Node, now in Aries, squaring with Pluto. I did speak in my video on the new moon in Cancer to this square. We have a Grand Cross that is forming, and it's a big squaring that is happening between Pluto, the North and South Node, and the Sun and Moon in the chart of the Cancer new moon. So this is a really profound aspect that has been setting up pretty consistently over recent times. And this is a period that we are going through where we have a lot of profound change, and it's intense. And I think it really is speaking to new earth energy and our personal, especially with the North Node now being in Aries, it's our personal transformation. So previously with the North Node being in Taurus, we had the transformation around our values, and we still do have some of the relationship stuff, the themes of relationships and the nodes coming up because we have the South Node in Libra hallmarked by relationships. But now what we're seeing is that the lower stuff involving relationships are falling away. And whereas We are stepping more into a sense of sovereignty with the North Node in Aries now. That's naturally a part of the process, that the ways of being in relationships where we've given our power away are going to fall away. And with this square from Pluto, it can sometimes feel, this process of stepping into our power, very overwhelmingly disempowered. That's a part of becoming empowered and feeling how I have little control over this situation, or there's nothing I can do here. It doesn't look like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. That's a part of the process that I believe this particular aspect is speaking to, the dissolving, the feeling like there's nowhere for me to go, there's nothing for me to do, not feeling empowered is a part of the process of stepping more into our personal power. So keep that in mind. We also have in the morning on Sunday, Chiron stationing retrograde. I did speak a bit about this in a recent podcast as well. And we are going to be going through Chiron's annual phase of retrograde for basically the rest of this year. It goes on about a 6-month retrograde every year, where we're in the process of reviewing our wound. What is your wound, you may wonder? And that, to understand that, you'll have to understand what sign your personal natal Chiron is in and what house. And if you would like help with this, please sign up for a natal chart reading with me. Finally, on Sunday, we have Mercury and Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus. And this could be an opportunity where we are questioning an accepted version of how we thought things were. And maybe we are looking a little deeper under the surface. Maybe we got some brilliant new insights, but they really don't jive with how we thought of things previously. This really resonates with earlier mercurial energies that we have going on this week. It's very much a reformatting of our mental spaces, a new understanding, but there's some tension in the square aspect that could be this process of coming to a resolution, coming to an understanding, but having to sort this out. It's not necessarily going to make sense or jive with us immediately. However, we're in this huge critical state of transformation in this week. This is a really big, deep week. And so it would really make sense that on the mental levels, we are also reformatting, reprocessing, coming to terms with things. And that's definitely a part of that square energy for Sunday. So this is a really big week. Let me know in the comments how you're sorting out the energies. I would love to hear from you as things go along, how things are processing. What are the big things that are coming up for you? I feel like there's just so much brewing under the surface of the energies this week. It's just a lot of transformation for sure going on, and a lot of shifts, and this will probably continue for a while. Just so you know, the energies of these daily transits, they build up and they also last for several days, and these are pretty big aspects happening, so we can expect them to be in play for a while. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's just what it is, to be expected. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear how you're moving through these energies. And again, if you are interested in a natal chart reading with me, or also I do have a special offer on nodal readings, as we do have that big shift in the nodes happening. I'm happy to look into the energies of your personal natal north and south nodes, what they are reflective of for you, and also give you insights into how this shift from the nodal axis of Taurus, Scorpio to Aries, Libra is going to be affecting your chart. You can sign up for a reading with me by emailing me at courtneybuk@gmail.com, and those nodal readings are going to be $40 for a short time as we are making this big shift into the new nodal axis for the next 18 months. All right. Thank you guys for being here with me for this weekly overview. I will be back next Monday, as always, with your weekly overview. Take care. Thank you so much for joining me for this podcast. And if you have any comments you'd like to leave, I enjoy hearing from you and would love to communicate with you in the comments to hear how the energies are landing for you. And if you happen to have a friend who you think will enjoy this podcast, please do share it with them. I'm back every Monday with your weekly overview on my Substack account at courtneyingham.substack.com.